What if the moment you thought ended your dream was actually the moment it began? Marcus knew that moment. The snap in his knee, the silence of the stadium, the crowd that looked away, already writing him off. 1 week earlier, headlines called him unstoppable. 1 play later, they called him finished. And in the quiet of the locker room, jersey soaked in sweat, hands trembling against his brace, he whispered to himself, "Is this it? Is this the end of me?" But here's the truth. The setback wasn't the end. It was the ground his comeback would rise from. Because the comeback is always stronger than the setback. This is Marcus's story. And maybe today is yours too. Marcus grew up in Ohio. In his town, Friday nights meant one thing: football under the lights, the roar of the crowd, the hope that maybe, just maybe, a boy could run his way into a different life. By 18, Marcus was that boy. Tall, fast, a scholarship almost guaranteed. The kind of kid recruiters circled in red. But destiny is fragile. In the 3rd game of senior year, 1 tackle twisted wrong, 1 pop in his knee, and everything went black. The stretcher rolled out. The whispers began. And Marcus's name, once shouted with pride, was now followed by a sigh. Recovery wasn't glory. It was crutches. It was ice packs. It was trying to shower without falling. While his friends moved into dorms and stadiums, Marcus moved into his parents' basement. The boy who once lit up Friday nights now sat in the dark, watching highlight reels of a stranger, a younger version of himself. And in the silence, failure grew louder. "You're done. It's over. Move on." And part of him believed it. But sometimes, sparks don't come from stadiums. They come from kitchens. One afternoon, his little sister slid her homework across the table. "Can you help me with this essay?" she asked. "The topic? Describe a time you failed and what you did next." Marcus almost laughed. "I'm not the guy to ask about comebacks." But she tilted her head, eyes wide, innocent, and said words that cracked something open. "Then maybe you should be." In that moment, he realized maybe the injury wasn't the story. Maybe the comeback was. The next morning, Marcus didn't lace up cleats. He laced up running shoes. The sidewalk felt longer than any field. 1 block, pain. 2 blocks, tears. But with every step, he whispered, "This is not how it ends." Day after day, block after block, sweat poured, lungs burned, but slowly, the basement boy disappeared, and in his place, a fighter returned. At 21, Marcus walked back onto the practice field, not as the golden boy, not as the star, but as someone who had met rock bottom and refused to stay there. The first sprint sliced his calves. The first cut wobbled his knee. But then, a catch, a hit, a cheer. And in that sound, Marcus realized something no scholarship ever promised. Setbacks don't define you. Comebacks do. Marcus never made the NFL, but he made something stronger. He became a coach. And when kids cried, when they wanted to quit, he didn't hand them cliches. He rolled up his sleeve, pointed to the scar on his knee, and said, "See this? This isn't weakness. This is proof. The comeback is stronger than the setback." And they believed him, because scars don't lie. So, friend, what about you? Maybe your setback isn't torn ligaments. Maybe it's a failed exam, a lost job, a dream that collapsed. Maybe right now you're in your own basement season, watching others move forward, while you feel stuck. But listen, this isn't the end. It's the training ground. Because pain is temporary, loss is temporary, but comeback is a choice. So today, choose it. Choose the comeback, even if it's small, even if it hurts, even if no one's clapping yet. Because the comeback is always stronger than the setback. Drop 1 word in the comments, the word you're claiming for your comeback. And if Marcus's story reminded you that scars don't mean you're finished, hit like. Subscribe to Rise Remember Stories for daily stories. And share this with someone who's ready for their rise. Because setbacks break bones, but comebacks build spirit. And spirit, once rebuilt, is unshakable.